Trojan Philly, what's up, man? USCJ here. Listen, happy Saturday to everybody. We have some transfer portal updates, some transfer portal news. USC is going after an elite cornerback. Yes, I said it, an elite cornerback. His name is Terence Brooks out of Texas. He came in the 2022 class, and he pretty much started most of the time that he's been there in this two-year period. He's a lockdown corner. Very elusive guy, very technically sound, and USC, I can understand why they're going after him, but you got to wonder, I did think that our secondary is the biggest strength, but Tony Brooks is standing at 6 feet, 209 pounds, and he's out of the state of Texas, and you see his skill set here. Would he be a DB? Would he be a nickelback? Would he be a cornerback? I would say that he would probably play either the cornerback or the nickelback position. But this is a very skilled guy, and a guy that I believe that Deanton Lynn absolutely loves, and I do understand somewhat why they're going after him. I mean, we know that we need the defensive tackle spots, but I think that right now they're looking at the best available players in the portal. He's highly sought after right now. We'll take a look at some more of his information. On the year, very active guy. 20 total tackles, 13 solo, 7 assists, and 3 INTs. His freshman year, which was 2022, he had 9 tackles, 6 solo, 3 assists. So you talk about a very experienced guy. Now, I mean, how does he match up compared to guys like Nicholson, or DeCarlos Nicholson, or a Humphreys? You kind of wonder how Humphreys' injury is, and you kind of wonder how Jalen Smith's injury is. Both one plays corner, one plays nickel. But at this point, it appears that USC's gonna absolutely stack the box up with the cornerbacks, with the safeties, with everybody, and and maybe approach it from that way. I'm not sure. You guys know we're going into the Big Ten. We need run stoppers. But hey, maybe they feel like they're putting their best athletes on the field, guys that can absolutely tackle, guys that can move and groove from that way. So you kind of wonder if they're approaching it that way. You guys could drop those comments. You guys could tell me what you think. But this is Terence Brooks, and he was a track guy. He was he ran the 100, he ran the 200. So you're talking about a very, very elite guy, with enormous wingspan of like a +9 range relative to his height. So strong pedigree, and you guys can see it here. He's hyper aware in coverage, and so I like what I see. He has some great twitchiness about him, and he has that it factor when you're talking about the cornerback. And right now, projection wise, they projected him to go after this year either a second or third round. So being that he's only a sophomore, I think that's pretty good, given the fact that the second or third round, because you guys know Caleb Bullock just went the third round. He was there for 3 years. And so you're talking about a guy that has some great skill set. And so you guys can tell me what you guys think about Terence here, and let me know in the comment section. Let's move on to another guy who I think that USC can absolutely move and groove with as well. His name is Gavin Meyer, defensive tackle out of Wyoming. Let's go. All right, so here is Gavin Meyer, and Gavin Meyer, you guys know we need the defensive line. He is a defensive lineman, and he's standing at 6'4", 282 pounds. So you're talking about a guy that's not as big as like a Bear Alexander. We're looking for those. We're expecting rather those 300-pound guys. So the thought process here, he almost looks like the size of he's probably a little bigger, but he maybe an Aaron Donald type guy. You guys know Aaron Donald, Eric Henderson rather, talked about Aaron Donald being 285 pounds and was able to maneuver it. Maybe he sees it that way. Maybe he approaches it that way. I'm not going to question the coaches, but one thing I do know is we need the depth, and this guy is going to absolutely provide a depth piece for USC, given the fact that you look at Kobe Pepe, you look at Elijah Hughes, you look at Nate Clifton, some of the guys that we have. So we need the more depth, however we get them. And, he was a very productive guy while at Wyoming. And you got to wonder if, how familiar he is with guys like Well, we're not even going to wonder. We already know he's familiar with guys like Solomon Byrd. And we saw Solomon Byrd draft stock rise. Solomon Byrd, congratulations to him. I put it on my Twitter. Just signed a 4-year deal, a little over $1 million a year for 4 years, 4.13, something like that. But Gavin totaled up a total of 26 tackles, 13 solo, 13 assists in 2023. And then in 2022, actually had more, 39 total tackles, 20 solo, 19 assists, and 3.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble in 2022. So you guys know that, as I stated, he played there with Solomon Byrd, so very familiar with him and very familiar with Emmanuel Pregnon. So you got to wonder if that's playing a factor in as well, just given the fact that he knows those guys, very familiar with those guys. So drop those comments in the comment section. That is Gavin Meyer. Hopefully we get him. You guys know we already struck out with Suggs, and Suggs, I think personally, it may be a location type thing. With Suggs, we saw LSU, Michigan, all these different teams, and he's never left the state of Michigan, so maybe that's a factor. We'll see. We told you that USC won't overpay for guys that they feel like is not necessarily worth it. You guys know that I told you that they talked to these agents after the initial recruiting visit. Then after that, it's all agents. It's all negotiations. It's no longer what we know it as college football recruiting. So all this is a big time part in what's taking place right now. And so, yes, it's frustrating, but look, hopefully this thing will smooth itself out. But here's Brandon Lane. Brandon Lane, you guys know, well, I haven't even told you guys. I was texting back and forth with him, and he did say they're trying to set something up now. He was committed to Michigan State, decommitted. He's actually a 6'4", 300-pound guy out of Stephen F. Austin. You see all of his offers here. So this is him, man. So hopefully we get that visit. I felt good about it, and he said he's working on it right now. They're working on it. So look, man, we'll keep you updated on that. I initially thought that he was coming, and so but it didn't happen. So now they're trying to redo it, and so let's see what happens, man. Until later on, listen, you guys already know where you can find me. It's going to be USCJ32 on Instagram, USCJ32 on Twitter. Until later on, everybody stay blessed. Fight on, fight on, fight on.